Yeah, we should. This is coming up on Rick Dancer TV. We are going to continue our tour of Oregon ghost towns. Tonight we're taking you to Golden.
And it looks like we're going to be able to get a winner for Ranchito Grill.
And also, we've got Ride Able, an organization that desperately needs your help. We're going to tell you how and why.
And I don't know why you're here, but I came for Wine Julia and Coburg Pizza.
Pizza and wine? I'm all about that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm not dead. That sounds like something interesting. In 1906, 36 children still went to school here in Golden. Now, not a soul lives here. Anybody who lives in the area has the address of Wolf Creek. But still, for some reason, people come here looking for something. Deep in the forest, set back along Coyote Creek, is a place that truly lives up to its name. Golden. You'll find it 3+ miles from the Wolf Creek Tavern in southern Oregon.
When we had the opportunity to buy this before somebody else bought it and bulldozed it down, then we just started getting, grants and things like that to do the restoration work and to keep it for the people of Oregon and people that are interested in historic places.
Susan Bush is part of the Golden Coyote Wetlands Incorporated. How many of you are there?
Very small. There's only about 5 to 7 of us.
Bush and her group got into this project to create a wetlands in the valley below the town of Golden. These were the spoils left over from years of mining the mountain for gold.
It was a moonscape. It was a bombed crater. And it just looked awful.
Now, with plenty of work and care, it's coming back to life. A few years ago, the wetland workers turned their focus to what's left of the town of Golden. Why is it so important that these 4 little buildings?
It's part of Oregon and United States history, and it's still here.
Golden is one of Oregon's finest snapshots of a ghost town. Established in 1890, the post office opened 6 years later. William Rubel, a preacher, started the town. It used to be called Goldville.
I believe he was a candlelight minister, and he wanted miners that were God-fearing people. There were no prostitutes here, no bars, no saloons. He just didn't allow that.
The town sits just as it did 100 years ago. Only addition, a fake cemetery.
It was put there by Gunsmoke in the 70s for an episode. And since then, people have put grave markers there, but there's buried there.
There are still mining claims up here. How much gold are they finding in Golden?
Well, about $1 million, which back in the 1890s was a lot of money. And how much they got from that time, I don't really know. Enough to have somebody be mining it up until 1990.
Now Golden is managed by the State Parks Department and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. You love this stuff.
I do. It's just so fascinating.
The church is never locked. People who live up here wouldn't allow it. It's their church. Doesn't matter who owns it.
People use this church. They go inside. We have flowers left on the altar. We have pine boughs left. People use this church. If they close the church and lock it, it would be vandalized.
Golden is one of those ghost towns that was lost, but now is found.
To find a spot like this, in this condition, that's over 100 years old, still here, is something that is absolutely not heard of.
Improvements will be made,
but just so that Golden stays as it is, intact, as it should be.
We're getting calls from all over Lane County, and people are waking up in the morning and they're finding their yards are covered by a flock of purple flamingos. Now, we got a call from this neighborhood and they said it was happening right now at this house. And what, Carrie, right? What in the world? What are you doing out here? You can't do that. What are you doing?
I'm out here flocking a yard for our Flock a Friend fundraiser.
This is for Womenspace?
This is for Womenspace.
So how does it work? I mean, how do I get in on this?
You call our office at 541-485-8232 and you just tell them you want to get in on the Flock a Friend fundraiser, and the front desk will take down all of your information.
This is crazy. So how does it 10?
It is $10 for a flock of 12 or $15 for a flock of 24.
Okay, so, I mean, are you going to get caught doing this?
Well, hopefully not by them. That's why we do it in the middle of the night. People show up in the middle of the night and wake up and their yard is beautiful like this. Now get out of here, Rick. Somebody's going to see us. Go.
So now we're moving up to the Coinmaster GT. This is the higher end model, about mid-range, but this is going to do a lot more.
Yes, it's getting more into the intermediate user. The Coin GT has a true ground balance and tracking so that it can reject the ground exactly. With a Coinmaster or Coinmaster Pro, there's a fixed level of ground rejection. With the Coin GT, it's not fixed. It's actually ground balancing to the ground.
So when you say ground rejection, what does that mean? It'll look for the iron?
Look for the irons in the soil, and by eliminating those irons, it can penetrate that dirt deeper.
So you know you're going to have a better chance of finding a treasure rather than a piece of iron.
The older stuff's typically deeper, so depth is going to make a difference for you in finding good stuff.
Who's the customer who'd most be likely to purchase something like this?
A lot of times it's somebody that's had an entry-level model before and looking to step up for some more features, additional features and performance. And a lot of times it's a first-time buyer that just wants to be a little bit more serious about metal detecting.
Bigger battery pack, backlit, so it's easier to see for people?
Yes, backlit display, longer battery life with the full-size batteries, has the ground rejection and ground tracking. It also has what we call full VDI scale. So with the Coinmaster, you've got about 8 ID segments on your display. This one has 20 segments for the trash rejection, but it has 192 VDI numbers. So it has a lot higher resolution in what it's telling you on the display.
We're here with Mike Morehouse of Integrity Auto Repair out on River Road. Look for the bright yellow building. The cars driving around town. You have loaner cars that are bright yellow and black. They're cool looking, but brakes for breasts. And when he sent me this press release, it caught my eye. And then I get here and I see a mechanic in a pink shirt and I think, okay, I got to know what this is all about. So tell me about, how does this deal work?
How does the deal work?
Yeah.
Okay, so you come in, and if you happen to need brakes, we give you free brake pads or brake shoes. And then we install them. There's a charge, of course, for installation and any ancillary parts that you may need. We donate 10% of those dollars to breast cancer.
So I'm getting already $100, up to $100 worth of free brake pads. And these are good quality brake pads.
That's right.
Now, who is this breast cancer research? You're really excited about that as well. It's a doctor.
This is Dr. Tui of the Cleveland Clinic, and he's developed a vaccine that's proven 100% effective in lab tests for cancer, for breast cancer. In fact, it's going to be going to human trials in 2015.
And this is a group of independent auto mechanics all over the country that are joining forces. How many are you and how much did you make last year?
That's right, yeah, we've been involved in this for 3 years now, and last year there were 66 shops and we raised over $66,000. This year there's twice as many shops and we hope to raise twice as much money.
So people just call you for an appointment?
They call for an appointment, that's right.
What's the number?
541-343-1545.
Oh, and you have a website as well?
We have a website, EugeneAutoRepair.net.
So then you don't get to wear the pink shirt after November, do you?
That's right.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
It's not the alarm that gets you out on the trail every day. It's your heart, whispering, get out of bed, this is your day. Your legs are tired. Your body begs you not to do it. But going back is not an option. This race is against your toughest opponent. This race is against you. You give it your all and will be back tomorrow to do it all over again. And when you finish, because you're never really done, only one thing can restore what was taken and what you gave. Lockmead reduced fat or non-fat chocolate milk. Recovery doesn't get any better than this.
So we all know about Coburg Pizza, located in Coburg, right on the main drag. Now, Coburg Pizza is also Nana's Cafe in Coburg. So Terry Dawson is the owner, and hey, haven't seen you since I think it was last Friday when I had a pizza at Coburg Pizza in Springfield. But anyway, that's why confuse the point.
No confusion.
Nana's Cafe. What are you guys doing here? What's going on?
Well, you know,
here?
when we first moved to town 17 years ago, coffee was the thing we wanted to do to better be involved and get to know our community, and we just never got around to it. Pizza happened, and it kind of exploded, and
you
so
kind of got popular real
fast.
fast.
It did kind of happen, and so last fall we decided to finally venture into some great espresso, my wife's baked goods, Nana's baked goods, and created Nana's Cafe inside the pizza company in Coburg.
What are you most famous for?
Wow. Scones and cinnamon rolls, probably, when it comes to baked goods, and especially the cinnamon rolls, because we
all made here.
All made here. We do a wide variety of them, so cranberry orange cinnamon rolls and maple bacon cinnamon rolls, and you know our traditional cinnamon rolls, and so they're all pretty popular, and we probably have 3 times as many scone recipes that we offer, so those things tend to get a lot of traffic.
You also serve lunch here.
Yeah, we do.
What kind of sandwiches, pizza?
Sandwiches,
obviously.
pizza by the slice, wings, the Coburg Pizza Company recipe, kind of augmented by some of the frittata and the other things that we do at Nana's Cafe.
What do you want people to leave here with? Because obviously this is a big venture. When you're expanding, it means you're open even longer. And what do you want people to?
Well, we certainly want them to leave well-fed, but beyond well-fed, we want them to leave happy to have been here, and not just in a location or in our restaurant, but in Coburg and with the community of Coburg. And this has kind of become a gathering spot for the whole of our community. And so watching them interact with each other, reacquaint themselves and their relationships and their friendships, sometimes old disputes put away over a great cup of coffee. That's really the kind of thing that we hope to see as a whole, both in the Coburg Pizza Company and of course then in mornings at Nana's Cafe.
So we've made friends with Ranchito Grill. They've got amazing food. Abe down there is great. And we have a little deal set up where you can go enter to win dinner for 2 from Ranchito Grill when you go check them out. Look for the Rick Dancer Enter to Win box, Rick Dancer TV, put your basic information in there, and it could be you winning dinner from Ranchito Grill. It's Mohawk and Olympic, and we have a winner. Actually, it's Tiffany Jenkins. Tiffany Jenkins. She's not here. I was like looking around like she's going to come on down. Tiffany, let's start over.
I think a big part of what we do is teach people why they're having problems and what they can do.
Physical therapy is not just for athletes. It's for anyone living with pain.
And you spend some time at a computer, don't you?
Yeah. And see, if I was sitting up more.
And you'd have more problems if you sat at a computer 8-10 hours a day.
We live with pain. Neck, lower back, shoulder, hip, knee, and foot pain. Oftentimes, the source of the problem can be found in patterns that we've learned.
I can teach you how to make these changes. So what I want you to do is hold your arm straight up like that, all right? And now I want you to hold that band in your hand. Now the only thing the band is doing...
At Stazak Physical Therapy and Wellness Center, we help you unlearn patterns by strengthening stabilizer muscles and your core, and identifying the cause of the pain.
I like, when people have this realization that it's not as hard as they think. They don't have to just live with this. The light goes on for them about that it's not as hard as they think it is to get past the problems that they have.
Yeah, still working for Rick, dancer. That's
Emma.
Oh, hold, there he is.
I'm sorry, what are you doing?
I'm not looking for a new job because I work for you. Or
You're looking for a new job? That's fine, but you know what? What a waste of time. Hang that phone up.
Hold on, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.
No, Goodwill, the Job Connections program. You've heard of it.
I have.
Watch.
Mariah Nelson is looking for a change.
I left my whole life behind. I had a steady job. I had, good friends. I had a lot of things going, so I took a huge risk.
She's headed to business school and needs a job.
I was at the Goodwill trying to find some clothes to go job hunting, and I heard an ad on their radio.
Let Goodwill's free Job Connections program connect you with employers currently hiring in our community.
We are here to help anybody out there. You don't have to be disabled. You can use the service and we'll help you find employment and really increase your self-sufficiency and get where you want to go in life. When you donate to Goodwill and that gets processed and sold in our stores, a portion of that profit that's made in our stores funds this program. So you are actually, as you're donating, helping people being able to access this center. So this is completely paid for by people shopping at our retail store and people donating to Goodwill.
Worked on my cover letter, my resume. They just gave me all the research that I ever needed. They have a phone so I could follow job leads.
We're really seeing the ripple effect. They come in, they get a job, and all of a sudden they do get housing and they get transportation and they get to get off food stamps or any type of state assistance.
In 2012, the Goodwill Connections program helped more than 800 people find work.
They're going to come in, they're downtrodden, there's something going on that's a hardship in their life. And through our support and motivation and teaching them the tools that they need, we see them rise up and accomplish something and get a job.
Here they really know what they're talking about. They go to classes and learn how to teach people things. So they really gave me solid help, solid advice. Well, I actually got 2 jobs out of it. I actually had 5 interviews in a matter of 3 days.
Job Connections helps with mock interviews, provides computer, internet, resume paper, phones, and job leads.
The Job Connections program is a free program. It's for anybody in the public or in the community that wants to come in and look for a job or a better job.
This is like a hidden gem, and I think people should check out this resource because I couldn't have asked for better help. I really couldn't have. I was so happy to find them. It's nice when people actually care about your well-being as opposed to just being a face in a room. College is definitely the next step for me. I want to get that degree. I want to finish that. It's always been an unfinished chapter in my book, and I just want to get that done and taken care of, and I'm looking forward to that next chapter.
Look, it's Dr. Fryfield. Hey, Dr. Fryfield. I didn't know you gave blood.
Well, hi, Rick. How you doing?
I didn't know you gave blood.
Yeah. I come here every couple of months.
So tell me, can I ask you a question about prostate cancer?
Sure.
Okay, so which is best for early prostate cancer? What treatment? Surgery, radiation, or active surveillance?
It really depends on the cancer itself and the age of the guy and to some extent what he wants and what he thinks might be the best. They can all cure prostate cancer. Surgery and radiation both can, but that's something we have to talk about to make that decision.
So if you were me, which one would you choose?
It really depends on what you would choose. That's where we have to sit down and we have to talk about it. There are pros and cons of everything. There are side effects that are different of each of those, and boy, it takes a long time to sit and explore all of that.
So everybody tells me to do something different. My next door neighbor had this treatment, he said that worked. My uncle had a different treatment. What do you do?
I think it's good to get an idea of what their experience is, but ultimately it's a decision that each fellow has to make that's the right one for himself.
Yeah, you do need journalism because, we live in an age where people have a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of different sources that are pulling away from their time schedules, and so they rely on us to be places and cover things that they can't get to. And it might be everything from a city council meeting with a hot topic, such as a sick leave or something like that. And so they depend on us to be there when we're there all the time.
All right, I'm sitting here with one of my favorite people ever, the real Wine Julia, and she's teaching me how to pair up different beverages with one of my favorite foods, Coburg pizza. So today we're talking about this pizza. Oh my God, what is this?
Okay, so this is their new Big Apple Pork and Cheddar Pie. The pairing with this that I think is going to be perfect is sparkling wine is my go-to, and we've got two really cool bottles here. It's my go-to wine that pairs with just about everything. Sparkling wine is amazing with almost everything out there.
Good to know.
So they, at Coburg Pizza Company, they serve it, you can get a whole bottle or you can get a single. This is a cute little single serving bottle, and this is, so they sell it by the glass.
I want to.
This is their thick crust. Check it out. I mean, that is, look at how thick that crust is.
You need an apple spotter, but that's ridiculous. That's so good. That's so good.
Oh my goodness.
Pulled pork.
Wow. Yeah, the Tavola Festa is every Monday starting at 5 p.m. It's only at their Centennial location, and you will have a lot of variety of pizza to choose from. They are going to put out their pizzas that people are normally maybe a little timid to order because of the crazy ingredients that they are able to put together so successfully. But it's a great time to try those types of pizzas. They're not going to have out their pepperoni. They're going to have out their baked apple and cheddar pie.
We're here at 5th Street Market because my new office is here.
Right.
It's kind of fun when you're not working, you come around here, and right now all the fall colors are out, and it's a nice place to be, just, you know, kind of feel like you're hanging out. And
It reminds me of when we got to go on the field trip to Dietering Orchards last year.
You had so much fun.
I had so much fun.
Apple days are coming up again all through the month of October. Every weekend you can go out there, you can pick the apples, they'll pick the apples. They have all kinds of fruits and vegetables.
I got
games.
fresh cider.
Yeah.
I got to pick out a pumpkin. I almost got lost in the corn maze. Some search and rescue almost
Games
came
for
out.
the kids and all that kind of stuff. Hay rides. I mean, everything is out there. And
The apple launcher.
you love the Apple Blaster, didn't you?
Apple Blaster.
Oh yeah, well you had a good time with that. So it's all month, every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, Dietering Orchards, out by Harrisburg.
Bring the kids.
Oh man,
They're
you will
gonna
have
love that.
so much fun.
Apple Blaster.
We're here at the University of Oregon Archives to talk to Elizabeth Peterson about this new collection that they received from KEZI. And I got to show you something real quick. These books, these were the Bibles when I was back in the day at KEZI. We'd run into the back room and we would be going through these to find the video for stories that we'd put on the air. So, you know, in some ways, Elizabeth, what's fun for me is this is kind of like my life, and you guys have it. And it's safe. You know, I'll always be in the archives here. Tell me, first of all, how did you get this KEZI collection?
Scott Chambers from Chambers Communications. I believe he approached the Dean of the School of Journalism about gifting the collection to the university. And in the library, this is what we do. We take in primary source collections and organize them and make them accessible and preserve them forever. So fortunately, he talked to Dean Deb Carver, Dean of the Libraries, and through all these connections, brought the gift into the libraries. And so it will certainly be available to everybody, including the students and faculty in the School of Journalism. That's how the gift got to us.
So in terms of nationwide, local news content like this, historical records of local news, even though it's only 10 or 20 or 50 years old, we're losing them.
Yeah, absolutely. This is actually a very unique kind of collection. I mean, not just unique for the content because it's regional news and a medium-sized media market, but there are very few collections like this that still exist and that have this kind of chronological scope and are this intact. There's really, I know of fewer than 10 that still exist around the country. So
the Chambers doing that, this was pretty foresightful.
Oh yes, especially since they've sold the business. So grateful that Scott Chambers and his siblings had the foresight to give us the rights to the material, which rarely happens at all, where the repository gets the copyright to the material, because it allows us to make this freely available to whoever needs it. We try to recoup our costs through use fees, just for our staff time and transfer costs, but we don't have to then pay a rights holder in addition to that, or the user doesn't have to track down a rights holder. So yes, the vision that he had in ensuring the safety of this amazing legacy of his mother, Carolyn Chambers, and his family is such a benefit to the entire state, and really to researchers everywhere, I like to think.
There's an organization in town called Ride Able, and they desperately need our help. They have a campaign to raise some money up through October 15th. I'm going to show you a video we produced about this organization a few years ago. I think this may inspire you to help.
George Beverly, not your typical cowboy, but boy does he like to ride. His days on horseback started way back in March. That horse there changed his life.
George is almost 6 years old. He has classic autism, which means he had it since birth. So the very first lesson, I swear Monica taught him the difference between left and right, because he had a physical action to do with it. He understood it. He got the horse to do what he wanted, and he was so proud of himself.
Proud in a cowboy sort of way. George is in his element.
I mean, to be able to say something or do something and have the animal respond is huge. And he loves it. He talks about Chica, his horse, all week long.
Raising a child with a special ability is challenging and amazing, especially on days like this.
He is so capable. It doesn't seem like a disability. He just learns differently.
All right, country boy.
Say cheese. George,
George, you are funny. Has your definition of a disability changed?
Oh, definitely. There aren't any. It's not a disability, it's a special need that you need to make some adjustments for, but it's not a disability.
What's the magic?
The horses. It's the relationship with the horses. It's that mystery relationship. Why are the horses important? Why does it work? I don't know why it works. I just know it does.
Doesn't really matter why. Not to George, who's back at the hitching post. Ride's over for today. But this little cowboy knows he'll be back, because he's a country boy.
Carrie, you can come just a little bit closer to me and go like this. Here's what I would do. Is like, so you're down here, and you come up here and you go, Rick, okay, I'm here, what I'm doing, and then just do your thing like this. And then when you get all done with it like that, and I'll ask you a couple questions. If you forget something, I'll just ask you. And then just go, now Rick, you and Bill, get out of here. You're spoiling everything. And when you're doing it, when you're down here like this, well, Rick, you can kind of look around a little bit too while you're doing it, just for fun. We're getting calls from all over Lane County. People are waking up in the morning and finding flocks of flamingos. That's so hard to say.